psychic. But you know, we just come to represent for our people them at this time politically. And you know, the vibes is nice, so I just really think.
We're concerned about crime.
Vibes Cartel led a gang which was responsible.
Hello, JPU family. Welcome to this special episode of Jamaica Politics Uncovered. Guys, if you are just joining for the first time, welcome. And if you are returning, welcome back. We have an exciting program here tonight, something that you don't get to see every day or every week. We're going to have 4 of our most fierce, hard-hitting female political bloggers in the Jamaican community on here. You're going to hear from myself. You're going to hear from Liz. You're going to hear from Jamaica 411. And you are going to hear from Miss Karen Cross. We're going to be talking about what happened today in the national arena, where the People's National Party held their, I think, 80-something conference. And they took a huge political risk, guys. We're going to talk about it. I'm going to be asking the ladies, what are their thoughts? I'm going to let you guys in on some information that I received today. Reliable information. Peter Bunting got this today, sidelined at the conference. There's some internal warfare going on, and that caused it. But I'll tell you more about it as we go on. So guys, hit up the like button, share up the live, and let us get started. Guys, boy, me I tell you no, me never dey home today, up on the road, me dey get call from out of the PNP conference with a few comrades who were anxious, furious about what they were seeing. I know a few who left as a result. So we're going to get in here and we're going to talk about it. In the studio right now, let me see, Jamaica 411 should be joining in very soon. And likewise the other ladies. Let me see who they are so far. Good night, everybody. Thank you for joining. Moderator, welcome. Child of God, welcome back. All you new subscribers, or if you're a new viewer, just hit up the subscribe button and make sure you subscribe to over here, because you're not gonna get no better content where politics is concerned. Ask anybody in the comments. We do the good things them over here. Anyway, guys, make we get started. The politics start play already, guys. And as you can see in the title, in my view, in my opinion, the PNP just gave the JLP the election, pretty much. And I'm going to tell you why. When you know, when you just come out here, come talk things. We're going to give you the reasons. We're going to make it make sense. And you are going to see. The People's National Party, if no other time at all, they gave the election to the Jamaica Labour Party today because of their bad decision making. Nobody's surprised. But first, guys, before I go any further, I just want you guys to know that a lot of people are voicing disapproval, disappointment that the PNP acknowledged some people who passed away, like Andrea Moore and Taz. Rest in peace. And there's nothing wrong with that. But there was no mention or acknowledgement of Melissa. We'll talk a little more about that soon. PJ Patterson was not at the conference. PJ Patterson was not at the annual conference. In my view, the conference was mostly focused on Portia Simpson-Miller and Michael Manley. You would think that they were in the room. And that is why a lot of people are asking, where's the renewal? You know, what are you really campaigning on? Michael Manley and his father did their time. They are, you know, a major part of the foundation of the PNP, but they did their time. And likewise, Portia, she did her time. So you have to stay in the know. You have to have a plan for now, right? Guys, I'm going to play what Vibes Cartel said at the conference. Remember, I did an upload a couple of days ago where I told you guys that the star basically preempted Cartel's appearance, because clearly now we know that the star got word that he would be there. But I guess they were told not to present it that way to the public. So they published an article which said Vibes Cartel is welcomed at conference. And they did sort of an interview with Dayton Campbell, who said, hey, yeah, we'd be happy with his presence, and anybody else for that matter. And so he came, and he didn't say anything. Like Bojo, Cartel came to the conference, but he said nothing. He didn't perform. Emergency, we are suffer around here. 2 party, but at the same sad song them a play. Those are lyrics from Vibes Cartel's song. His most latest, he did one when he was in prison. It's called Politics. Those guys in a jacket and ties. Those guys we are mash up with life. Those guys we are tell be a lie. If them say a day a night, if them say a black or white. In that song, Cartel also said, "Ma born the V and ma born the fist." So I am bringing that up to say how persuasive is Vibes Cartel in this time in Jamaica and its politics. So let me just go ahead and let you hear what Cartel had to say, because this is the highlight that the PNP wanted. They wanted Cartel to be the highlight because clearly they don't have a leader in Mark Golding who is persuasive, who can make a good headline and a lasting headline, a lasting impact on the minds of voters. Because let's face it, not everybody was meant to lead. Not everybody was meant for representational politics. In my view, Mark Golding is one such person. He's had 4 years, still doesn't have that impact. Peter Bunting, same thing. So Cartel was the highlight, the Maroon chief. Lots of questions about his appearance as well. He's taking this political stance and position when he's representing the people of a compound, the indigenous community. They have their own election. They have their own quote-unquote head of state. So people are really questioning what is the purpose. Why is he on PNP's platform with Vibes Cartel and his lawyer and in that atmosphere? Lots of questions, guys. So let me just go ahead and play what was said, and then I'll come back to you. Here goes.
Psychic. But you know, we just come to represent for our people them at this time politically. And you know, the vibes is nice, so that's what I think.
Politically, what would you change about Jamaica right now? What bothers you? What disturbs you?
No, what bothers me and what disturbs me are the same sentiment the people them are the writers are share. That's why I'm here. So Mr. Golden will make it clear.
Thanks a lot.
So Cartel was asked 2 specific questions. He was asked 2 very specific questions.
Psychic. But you know, we just come to represent for our people them at this time politically. And you know, the vibes is nice, so that's what I think.
Politically.
Representing for his people politically. I'm not sure if he's talking about, I don't know what people he's talking about, because Vybz Cartel fans are JLP, PNP, and no P. So if he's representing for his people, meaning his fans, he would have to represent them with the green kerchief too, not just the orange one. And he would have to represent them with no colors, because not all his fans are politically aligned or affiliated. So that kind of didn't make sense to me. So what people is he representing? Could it be his lawyer that he's representing? And then he was also asked, what specific...
Well, you know, we just come to represent for our people then at this time politically. And, you know, the vibes is nice, so that's what I think.
Politically, what would you change about Jamaica right now? What bothers you? What disturbs you?
No, what bothers me...
Again, very specific questions. We know Cartel as somebody who is articulate, can express himself very clearly. And those particular questions, what would you change? What are the issues? He could not verbalize those in his own words. I mean, he could, but of course, clearly, he chose not to. He basically redirected that Anthony Miller to the audience and to what Mark Golding would say. I don't know if that was a right or wrong answer. And then I'll let you hear what his lawyer said. So Isaac Buchanan took this position about, I mean, clearly he invited Vybz Cartel, not just to be a guest in the audience, sitting down listening, but to take the platform, to kind of take over the situation, not to perform his art and express himself about the questions that Mr. Miller asked him. What would you change? How do you feel? Cartel has songs that are clean, that speaks to the politics and the, you know, the social ills of society. He has songs that he could have performed there, but he didn't perform. He didn't give a speech. Just like Buju. Buju has countless songs that he could have done. But just like Buju, Cartel appeared, but he didn't speak. And he didn't perform. He just appeared. I mean, it seems to me like entertainers are not very proud of being aligned to political parties or something. I don't know. Because if I'm an artist and you invite me to come to your political event in this way, I'm going to want to write something or say something, because what I'm there for is not just to come like a figurine. Maybe come try persuade people to support and vote for you. And my mere presence is not enough. So as an artist, maybe find a creative way to do that. I mean, I don't know what you guys think, but let me know in the comments, guys. No more want to show how the politics start already. The politics get hot already, guys, because no later after these things come out of the conference, you see the Jamaica Labour Party push out this video, which I'm going to play right now. So after you watch this video, then I'll get my panel in here and then we'll discuss.
We're concerned about crime.
Vybz Cartel led a gang which was responsible for well over 100 murders. And we have been telling the country this for a long, long time.
Again, for those of you who may not know, this is Vybz Cartel. He's currently a guest of mine in the Correctional Services.
National Security Minister Peter Bunting says convicted dancehall entertainer Vybz Cartel has dedicated his skills to advancing an evil agenda.
Cartel, to my mind, he is the poster child of what I consider to be the negative elements in our popular culture. His songs and his music advocate violence. It advocates disrespect for women. It advocates skin bleaching. So it essentially devalues our whole identity as a people. I mean, there's hardly anything positive that you can find.
Yeah, guys, so you've heard me talk about Bunting denying Cartel a fair trial when he was on trial for homicide. You heard me talk extensively about that because I felt that that was so wrong. You know, when he and Mark Golding were security minister and justice minister, respectively, they failed because, as you know, Queen Ifrica can bear a witness. Queen Ifrica come out and say, "Don't cry, Mr. Bunting. You can't fight crime like that." And them tell him to pack up him things and go on, and the rights group them burn him out and say, "If you can't fix the thing, go on. Resign." And he never did. So I personally feel that they used that opportunity to deny one of our citizens, Vibes Cartel at the time, his right to a fair trial, and then demonizing dancehall. I'm a dancehall fan. Me not listen to everything, because certain lyrics me not really love, but as a Jamaican, me's a dancehall fan, and I never like that because that paint the whole dancehall fraternity as just some monster in our society, and I don't view it that way. Plus, you're the security minister. What business do you have talking about art, music, art, dancehall art? You know, you're supposed to be talking about policies, legislation, so on and so forth. Now, here's the situation, guys. If you don't have sense, you can put 2 and 2 together. This is Bunting at the conference today. There's a situation, a standoff going on within the PNP. I was reliably told today that days ago, a group of PNP, members of the hierarchy even, sought PJ Patterson's intervention in the direction of the party. I'm not going to call anybody name who was at PJ's house, but they went to PJ to seek intervention. They first asked Dr. Phillips, who was at the conference. Dr. Phillips said he's not getting involved. I don't know what PJ said. I can't tell you that, and I'm not going to come out here and tell you any lies. But the Rise United faction has fallen further into factionalism. Bunting is getting blamed for destroying the party. Some people are also blaming Mark Golding. There's a big standoff between Bunting and Dayton Campbell. Dayton Campbell wants to be the next leader of the PNP. Dayton Campbell is accusing Bunting of being a hypocrite, that he goes behind their back and does things that are against what they're trying to do. No, it's making sense because last week, when Mark Golding had his conference in his constituency, people called me from the conference. Can't you know me have the link all about the place. Everything they take up their phone and call me. I saw me get my news. People straight from the sources. And one of my brethren called me over jungle. And say, "Moms, you know, say, me and some of my counselor, them stand up here a reason, and about 3 MP come at the leader conference, you know." And me I say, how that? Because when the leader is having something, and especially 1 week away from the annual conference, nobody else is supposed to keep nothing, and everybody's supposed to coalesce and rally around. That's how it normally is. Only 4 showed up. Mark Golding was the last person to speak, and I got videos too. I just didn't post them out here. He was the last person to speak at the conference, and by the time he started speaking, people started leaving. And it was evident, and people were talking about it, how the conference is within a week and the leader keeps something and nobody not there. Well, it was confirmed today that the people them went to the farmer leaders seeking intervention. Seeking intervention. Now, where Cartel is concerned, me and Uno know say if Peter Bunting, remember say Peter Bunting and somebody will start the Rise United movement, you know. If Peter Bunting had control and was in charge of the Rise United movement like he was in 2019 before he lost the challenge and lost his seat, and even beyond that, Mark Golding, let me leave that alone. If Peter Bunting was still the person in charge of the Rise United movement, me can't bet you know and give you no change. Cartel could not have been at the PNP conference. You know the history. You hear the things them what Bunting said about Cartel before. If Peter Bunting was in charge of the Rise United movement, Vybz Cartel and his lawyer could not have done what they did today. And that is how I know that my source is 100% accurate. Peter Bunting was sidelined today. He was not able to speak. He did not speak. He could not have spoken on a platform where Vybz Cartel was going to appear. That would have been the mother of all hypocrisy. So they sidelined Bunting. Sidelined Bunting intentionally because they knew that him and Vybz Cartel could not have coexisted on the same stage. You know how dire the situation is. This one now is getting blamed. Him and Bunting are going at it, but he's also getting blamed because the comrades are saying, you make the party leader look like liar. Uno give him wrong information. Uno talk about illicit 8 and see them say PNP 5, JLP 3 illicit according to Observer and whatsoever. And they say Andrew was going to go to prison, not go so. So they might cuss him. Now, personally speaking, guys, I have not watched a PNP conference since like, I think 2019. I haven't watched a PNP conference because me's a substance woman. And if you're not a substance for talking to me years, me get bored, easily bored. So me not watch it. So I gather my information by trusted sources. I know you see look at things here and there in bits and pieces, but I can't tell you what Mark Golding said at the conference today. And that's why my panelists are here. They've watched it, I think, and they will come and explain. But may I give you the inside information of what is not made public, where the factionalism is concerned. So Peter Bunting, this I want to write here, so I want to look on Dayton Campbell. Him want to be the next leader, my love. Him want to be the next leader. And Imam Bunting is going at it. And through him and the general secretary now, him get for sideline Bunting and run with Bunting because them say Bunting can't give them no traction anyway. So them try to get a traction off a Cartel. But guys, it is so ironic. What happened today at the PNP conference? Yesterday ads were just shown. See JLP start fire back already with the ads. How do you explain away this type of hypocrisy?
We are concerned about crime.
Vybz Cartel led a gang which was responsible for well over 100 murders. And we have been telling the country this for a long, long time.
Again, for those of you who
may not know, this is Vibes Cartel. He's currently a guest of mine in the Correctional Services.
National Security Minister Peter Bunting says convicted dancehall entertainer Vibes Cartel has dedicated his skills to advancing an evil agenda.
Cartel, to my mind, he is the poster child of what I consider to be the negative elements in our popular culture. His songs and his music advocate violence. It advocates disrespect for women. It advocates skin bleaching. So it essentially devalues our whole identity as a people. I mean, there's hardly anything positive that you can find.
Yes, guys, we have security minister now become narrator for dancehall music. When he should be Cartel can sing anything he want, from him not sing about messing with underage picnic, Nobody no business. It's a free society. So if Cartel want to sing about bleaching, him not influence everybody for bleach. Bunty not bleach. So, Anyway, my guest is here. Jamaica 411, good night.
Good evening, ma'am. How you do?
I'm doing fabulous. How are you? Thank you for joining.
Boy, you're welcome. Boy, I'm still in a shock. Allow me just get over it.
Tell us why you're shocked. Say good night to the audience. They can't hear you.
Oh, hello, JPU family. How are you doing today? Well, tonight, I should say. I hope you all had a wonderful day and your weekend is going well, although it's coming fast to a close.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you asked me what shocked me.
Yes.
When you called me and tell me Mr. Cartel was there, and all right, you said it wasn't on the platform, and then somebody showed me the link, sent me the link, and I click and see that he was on the platform, and he was on the platform because Paul was behind him. I could not believe my eyes that this is Norman Manley's party. Norman Manley's party, a man who was convicted of murder and got away from the charge and the charges, or from the imprisonment through technicalities. Somebody attempted to bribe the jury in order to have the case thrown out. Right? And I mean, I don't know, you saw Bunting's face? You saw when Bunting came out, someone mark, you see him having finger call him like some call him some I don't know if it's on the road. You saw it? Show the people again. He wasn't happy.
Hold on. Go on talk. I'm loading it. Go on talk.
If you notice when they were going across, when Mark and the wife was going across, wifey, Bunting was beckoning to him with him finger, finger turn and say, Mark, and him not hear him. And then he go behind him and him say, Mark, and him had to touch him for him hear him. And then he call him and then go behind the whatever him had to say to him, he couldn't say it, right? And him talk to him behind him. So we don't know what that was about. But his face never looked good.
At first, Mr. Right? Bunting looked so vexed, No,
well, we seen him look vexed before, but not.
No, you have. I haven't seen him look this vexed before.
No. Cartel came into the mistake they made was to have him on the platform. Anybody can go the public session, I understand, right? So if the man came in and he was in the audience, you can't show your guest this courtesy, right? And in there, you don't acknowledge him. You see him, you don't acknowledge him, right? The camera will always show him and what have you, right? You brought him in and brought him on the stage where the MPs are, right? And the senators are. These people are part of the seat of power in this country. And have him on full display. They never thought about the Lizard's family. They never think about those people. What were they trying to do? So they were trying to attract young people. So one to the old people, and then forget the old people. Well, maybe them said we are dead off, so matter.
What you call
What
old
about the
though?
intelligence?
What age group you call old?
Well, the majority of the party's support is 55 and over. Them trying to
55
capture
and
young
older.
people.
Okay.
Them trying to capture young people's vote, right?
Mm-hmm.
Them sideline somebody like Lisa Hanna, who, when the poll was run, while she was running against Mark, right? When they were, in
Hold
that
on.
contest.
Hold that thought, Jamaica 411. Let me show the video that you mentioned. Hold on. Here goes, guys. Hold on a minute. I don't know if the people saw the whole thing. Hold on. Hold on.
Is this picture you're showing here?
Yeah, Bunting look heavy this man. Heavy. Continue.
Yeah, that picture you showed with Wickham McNeil, is that today?
No, man. When you talk about the age group of the people, that's why I put that on the screen. That is, I think, last
Oh,
year's. Yeah.
yeah, the majority of the party's support is 55 and over. But they need the young people to vote to win. The young people
Mm-hmm.
supposed to have turned out from the Labour Party, so they need to capture the young people's vote.
Mm-hmm.
And when they started business in the local government election,
Speak up a little louder,
where
please.
in the local government election,
Mm-hmm.
where the people said that the people said, well, they did a poll, I'm sure, and the people said they want to get rid of anti-women. That's the refrain. So then they decided to use that in the campaign. Come out and vote, so they could get rid of this wicked government, or get rid of Brogard and the young people and came out and vote. But then it crossed the line. Even
Mm-hmm.
though they got some of the seats, because they had no real control over anything. The PNP itself didn't come out.
Well, Bailey, I hear you now.
Well, I don't know why.
Yeah, better.
Let me move. Okay, all right. I think the mic, the speaker is over
The
here.
mic was
So
covered, yeah.
Yeah, well. So anyway, so they did that to get the young people to come out and vote. So
Mm-hmm.
they have to try something. I mean, you can't go back to them, the young people, with the same trick. You have to do something different.
Mm-hmm.
So I suppose they thought that this thing with L.A. Lewis is popular, Cartel is popular, and Chief Curry is popular. And
You
this is
think
the
Cartel
last
is as
conference.
popular? You think Cartel is as popular as he was previously?
Well, I don't know if in popularity even matters,
Okay.
no, it wouldn't be as popular because you will have some people that wouldn't be in him anymore. But his fans are his fans, Jamaican people and black people on a whole. Once they love you, that's it. Them not care what you want to do after that. Them love
No,
is pure.
I agree with you with that still, because you
Yeah.
might have people who still respect his genius, his musical genius, but they may be turned off by what transpired, with the case and stuff.
Yeah, you will have some people that is turned off.
Yeah, you will have some. Yeah.
But the point of the matter is that they're trying to attract the young people, right? So this is how they're trying to do it.
Yeah.
But by doing so, they're turning off. First set of people I'm turning off. Me not ask nobody no question. Are what we call in Jamaica the intelligentsia, right? Those highly educated people up at university and all about the place. Them the
Mm-hmm.
bookish people, those are the first people turn off. If anybody not turn off, we know the police is turned off. Lord
Well.
have mercy. You think any teacher will be happy about that?
Mm,
What about the nurses and the doctors? and the army. I mean, yes, they might not be big enough number. What about the entire civil service? Well, most of them are Christian. So you're going to be gaining, and the young people, if anything should happen to Cartel between now and then, all of that is lost, because there'll be nobody. You see, I would think they need him to come and tell the people to come out and vote PNP, but that will be when election call. And although I'm expecting the election soon, I don't think the election going to call until when it's due. Right when it's due.
So let me
Because
let Karen jump in here real quick for 1-1. Karen Cross, good night.
Good night, my darling. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Say hi to the audience.
Good night, JPU family. I trust you are well.
she's low.
You're low, Karen.
I'm trying to come closer. Okay, you know my phone is low. Are you hearing me better now?
Barely. I know you're out loud,
Well, I'm going to try to go loud. Are you hearing me now?
You don't say you're far from the phone.
No, me I hear her.
Oh, you are? Okay. Well, make the audience talk in the comments.
Yeah. Audience, are you hearing me? Just put in the comments if you're hearing me.
Them say good night. She's very low. Yes, Auntie Karen. Good night, Auntie Karen.
Am I sounding any better now?
Lord Jesus. No, them say no.
Well, you know the phone low. I don't know what to do with it. You know the phone. It will come up
Just put
eventually.
it closer to your mouth. Just put it closer to your mouth.
Michelle, you know it will come up eventually.
Yes, that's true.
It's going to come up eventually.
Well, it's coming up now.
Yeah, good night again, JPU family. Am I better?
Go on talk, make we see where it go.
All right, what am I supposed to be talking? What are you saying to me?
I'm asking you now, where Jamaica 411 left off. How did this whole thing play out? If you were listening all along, how this thing play out now for Andrew Wellness?
There's a feedback.
Well,
From me?
Yes,
let me first say, Jamaica 411 said that the people who love Vibes Cartel will continue to love him, and that's how Jamaica stay. Michelle really don't have a good understanding how the Jamaican people are, because the same people who love you will also turn on you in an instant if they believe that you are wrong about something. Vibes Cartel, I wouldn't say that he's still as popular as he used to be, but I would say that he still has name recognition. And that gives him that name recognition, gives him the visibility that he has always had. They say no publicity is bad publicity, but in his case, most of it is going to be bad visibility now. No matter what the comeback might be, people rejoice about the decision of the Privy Council, based on what Jamaica 411 explained earlier. I was flabbergasted by it. I can't even begin to tell you how shocked and flabbergasted I was. And then when I started receiving the text messages and the calls, somebody pointed me to a news media thing that the General Secretary, and I'm going to say General Secretary in this regard, that the General Secretary...
Lord Jesus, you know what, Karen? Jump off of this and let me call you up on the phone here, man. Because the people must say them not here. I don't want them miss what you say.
All right, darling.
2,000 people over here. Guys, please hit up the like button.
All right. I bet, calling is better.
Yeah, I don't want them miss anything.
But she sounded louder to me.
Maybe to you, but...
I wonder if because you sound very high, and I wonder if your thing might be a little... Let me see.
All right, let's call Karen on the
Is the
WhatsApp.
audience that is not hearing me?
Yes.
Ask them how is it now?
You know better, me I call you up on the WhatsApp. Answer WhatsApp.
But what makes it...
You can't stay in a studio though.
Yeah, man, I see.
I don't think the WhatsApp are going to be any better, She need to go up on her tablet.
Don't think?
That sounds good.
Yeah, but I forgot about the tablet, Michelle. This tablet don't have that.
No, you sound loud now.
People, how she sound now?
Am I sounding better?
Karen is loud and clear, somebody says. Hearing you much
I
better.
was
Go on.
always I was I was always loud and clear.
All right.
So I was saying that I was totally flabbergasted by the move today. But somebody said to me in one of the calls that I received, because I watched the entire conference starting from not from the beginning. I think I started watching it. Started from the tributes, the sections highlighting Michael Manley and Portia, right about there. And so I started watching the whole thing again. So somebody said to me that the general secretary of the party was asked as to whether Vibes Cartel would be welcome at the PNP conference, and that his response to that question posed to him by a news media personality, I would imagine, was that yes, everybody is welcome. Everybody want to come, everybody welcome.
Karen, me
Yeah?
go call you on the phone, you know. Mute that something, because some
Mercy.
people are
You
hear you,
can't.
some people not hear you, and we can't make them
Oh,
miss
I think I
anything.
still up on the live stream thing. Listen, all right. Let's do it.
All right. Talk now.
My phone is not not loud. Something wrong with the phone.
Oh, what this man?
But I'm still not hearing me.
Me can't hear you all right, you know, but
Are they hearing me?
hold on there. Oh, okay. All right.
I asking them hearing this now.
Go on talk. Go on talk.
Much better.
Wait, I lose my train of thoughts. So I want to know if they're hearing me.
Just talk a little louder now.
And that means I have to go shout on the top of my voice now.
Then after midnight yet.
Anybody hearing me?
Yes, yes, yes.
All right then. I'm saying that when the general secretary said in the news media that everybody is welcome and yes, the Vibes Cartel would be welcome. I kinda when the person said, I said to the person, "You sure he said that?" And the person said, "Yes, he said that." And I chalk that up to the fact that it is the lack of experience, the political experience in scenarios like these, in running a party, is the lack of experience from the top management and leadership of the party. Why he would have answered a question like that in the affirmative. Because any experienced politician, and certainly the general secretary of the party, would have been experienced enough to know how to go around a question like that without saying that a man cannot come. But he blatantly and outrightly said yes. And that opened the door for that. I would imagine that there were other people as well lobbying them to make sure that he could come. And it is quite flabbergasting to me that they never thought for an instant that this is a bad idea. It's just a bad idea.
Why? Why is it a bad idea?
I'm going to tell you, but I just want to pause to say that it was a good conference. It was.
Okay.
It was a pretty good conference.
In terms of,
it wasn't a bad speech.
So it was a good conference in terms of attendance and.
I don't know about the attendance could have been better, but the choreography, the messaging, it was basically a good conference.
Okay.
You know, from my perspective, and it was just the whole thing just went haywire, you know, just because of this one move.
So you think that one move there now, that one move there, it messed up everything?
Yeah, man, it's going to sink everything. And I'm going to tell you why the Vibes Cartel thing was a bad move.
No, I don't have no beef with Vybz Cartel. I don't know him. I don't even know one Vybz Cartel music. I really don't. I don't know which song Vybz Cartel is because I'm not a dancehall person. I don't know anything about dancehall. I'm not a fan. I'm not even a fan of Bob Marley, but I know Bob Marley songs. But I don't know Vybz Cartel. I don't have no issue with Vybz Cartel.
Mm-hmm.
But as responsible citizens, we must first place our country above our party. Our country and the way we are seen and viewed and looked upon by the world against any other thing, personal or otherwise, that we might have. And I'm telling you that the international community and even the regional community in CARICOM could look at this and say, what the hell?
But Karen, in fairness, when Cartel was with the Prime Minister of St. Vincent, what do you think they were saying then?
The same thing.
Okay.
But that wasn't even and that wasn't even a political party. That wasn't even a conference of any kind.
Okay.
That was just, a one-on-one thing, which would have been fine, But the thing about it is that while we know with glad Vybz Cartel get off on the matter that was brought because of how they conducted the case, people must not forget still, and I don't say this with any kind of rancor, and I don't say it with any kind of bad feelings, and I don't mean the disrespect to Vybz Cartel, but we must not negate the fact that he was arrested and charged and tried and found guilty by a jury of his peers for murder. We must not forget that. That is a fact. What happened at the Privy Council was not to say that he is innocent. It did not exonerate him or anything. The Privy Council basically said what Jamaica 411 repeated a few minutes ago. It's just not a good thing for a political party seeking power in the country. Mark Jefferson Golden, the leader of that party, who was once Minister of Justice, of Justice, presiding over this party now, with this kind of thing. And then the other thing that bothered me, and it bothered me from the Buju thing, is that, we know Buju a PNP. I never knew Vybz Cartel was a PNP. I did not know that, I have to say. But we know a long time that Buju is a PNP. Yet, while that is true, Buju has never attended a PNP conference until after the serve a prison sentence and come back. And then Vybz Cartel go spend some time in prison as well and come back, and suddenly everybody is a member of the PNP, or everybody a PNP, and them should come to conference and them should vibes with everybody. And I'm saying to you, under normal circumstances, that would be a good thing. But this is not normal. Not for a political party talking all kind of things about the current government, including crime, including how we behave as citizens of this country, and then you open your biggest international, national platform to this kind of criticism. It just doesn't bode well. The Buju thing, yes, it could have been, we could have skated past it. That was drug-related. Many people in this country, many people in the PNP have gotten in trouble with drug-related crimes. You don't hold it against anybody forever. So that, we could skate past that. But this is different. This is way different. And I'm saying that not everyone in the country, including the young people who love Vybz Cartel, not even some of them, and I don't want Jamaica 411 to bunch all the young people in this country who love Vybz Cartel to say that many of them would not disagree with what happened earlier at the PNP conference, because some of them do disagree. They find it a little bit distasteful and concerning. And it just spoiled the whole thing that, to me, was going good. So that is where I fall on that. I suppose next time I will have to talk about Chief Curry, because Chief Curry has absolutely no integrity.
Why you say that?
Well, Chief Corey's beef with the government and Mr. Olis in particular seem to be personal, and therefore everything that he does seems to be directed at getting back at Mr. Olis for Mr. Olis' slight of him or whatever it is, grievances that he has with Mr. Olis.
So some look egotistical thing like.
Egotistical, and he's a grifter. He's an outright grifter. I look at Chief Corey and I said to Michelle, Michelle and I were talking earlier, and I said to her that this is a man who is heading the Maroon of a compound. The same set of Maroons who bolted, not this generation, the previous generation of Maroons from which they sprang, who bolted and ran out on Nanny and Taki and leave Nanny and Taki alone to fight the British, while these Maroons from which they sprung went behind Nanny's back, made a deal with the British for 500 acres of land and betrayed the rest of the country that they were trying to fight for. And now, he's doing the same thing with the British white man who leads the PNP. And he's not doing it for his people, because he might enjoy about 40% support from his people in a compound. He don't enjoy overall 100%. He does not. So him doing it on a little ego trip because he's in a little worries with Mr. Olis. And as a leader, he can't seem to find a way to find common ground with the Prime Minister. So him thinking that this is the way to go. The Prime Minister diss me, they're going to diss him up back, they're going to giant mark. That's all it looks like. And it does not benefit the people of a compound, the Maroon people from a compound, enough respect to them, but it does not benefit them because he's on a one-man ego trip. So there he is. With that, LA lose a PNP long time. Sometime him come a conference, sometime him not come, and LA lose a good guy, not an issue with LA lose. But these two men, I mean, Chief Corey, we have issues with Chief Corey from the beginning because of how he's operating as the head of an important part of our culture, an important part of our history, is that they sold out the Maroons 200 how much years ago, and then him come as the next leader from this same set of Maroon that sprung from that set and selling out his own people again because him ego get in the way of whatever it is that him and Mr. Holness have. And I found him, I find him disgusting. I really do. I mean, when he started out, when we first discovered him, we thought that him cute and sweet and nice and him have potential, but money and power corrupt people. And it is amazing how these people are so attractive to mark them because that's what they are about, money and power and corrupting people. I have no beef with Isaac Buchanan anymore in trying to make him way. And he's misguided, and he has no one to guide him. He's a big lawyer, and he feel like that alone is his pathway to everything. He don't seem to understand that he has a lot to learn in this world, even though he's a lawyer, and he has made one mistake after the other by riding on the idea that he's a big lawyer and nobody can chat to him, and he don't seem to want to learn anything more or anything else, and he believes that he can't go wrong, and this is what he does, and this is what he is, and that direction is a sure recipe for failure, and I'm telling him from experience with that. But I'm telling you, if Mark Golding, if the conference had gone off without these things, and Mark Golding's speech, which is the most specific speech I've ever heard him give, in terms of what he intends to do. And even though I still believe the Jamaican voters not going to vote, give him enough seat to install him as president.
Hold on, Karen, hold on the man. Yeah, run left me, man. Take time, man.
Right,
So, I want to ask you before you go to election, you're going on now, pending election. But before you get into the pending election and give us your analysis of what you think will happen within the next year, how do you think today's conference will affect the Jamaica Labour Party or not? Because they're on the other side watching. I showed the audience the ad where them come out with when Bunting attacked some things about Cartel and the former police commissioner referred to Cartel as a gang leader and all them something there. I can't say that because I tell you what they say. So clearly there is a hypocrisy on the part of Bunting, which them sideline him today did not make him talk, him look vexed. The problem with him and Dayton in the party, everybody had turned down upon him, say he met the party stand so.
Yeah.
The JLP is in waiting. Their conference will be in a few months. But how do you think that today will impact them or not? Will they feel pressured to rally members of the dancehall or reggae fraternity? Will this whole cartel effect? You say that it will negatively impact the PNP, but will it negatively impact the JLP too? Tell the people what you think about that.
Well, the thing about political parties and conferences is that the conference that goes out first, the conference that goes last, have an opportunity to learn from whatever mistake or mishaps the conference that went first did.
Makes sense.
And that's the beauty about this thing. So, and the conference that goes last also have an opportunity to build on something or reword something, rewrite something, do something to counter something. If they have that opportunity, and in a few weeks they will have that opportunity. Now, if the JLP should want to mobilize the dancehall fraternity, and let me just state it very, very clearly. Just like in the US, except for Taylor Swift, there are no other movie stars or big stars in the US that people actually go vote because that person said they must support Kamala. Historically, it doesn't matter. It don't move the needle. Hillary lost to Trump. She had the whole of Hollywood behind her. I mean, it just don't matter. Taylor Swift, however, can get people to go and register to vote,
True.
which is a big thing.
True.
You know,
True.
Almost 500,000 people have registered by she sharing the link on her Instagram page and tell them to go register.
The power of persuasion. True.
Yeah. Then she went to the VMA the next day and she tell them that this is an important election. And so I am absolutely certain that the whole host of young people and old Swifties, people in my age group as well, are going to go out in them Swiftie and back and they're going to vote because Taylor said they should. She is by far the most powerful person right now.
In the industry, So
I'm telling you. So I don't think the dancehall artist or any kind of celebrity in Jamaica affect how people vote. I don't think they can influence how people vote. None of them. Voting in Jamaica is a personal matter. And if you don't have no personal relationship with voters or a particular voting block, you can't go on your big microphone for no news media or no stage and say, I want to go out vote for Mark, I want to go out vote for Andrew. Nobody not listening to you with that. This is Jamaica. Nobody not listen to nobody about that. Because man will tell you and kiss them Peter say, well, we are doing that there, you know? Man, different thing. So I don't see it as being influential in how people vote. I don't see any of it being influential in how people vote. On my road, Wilmot Drive, I will be influential in terms of how the 50-yard on Wilmot Drive vote. So if I tell them I not go vote, nobody not go vote. If I tell them nobody go vote, and make me and them sit down and hold a vibe. That's how influence works in terms of people voting. But then again, any dancehall artist or any celebrity in Jamaica can walk into their community or their sphere of influence on election day, and they can say, yo, I'm not voting on the corner, and that would make a difference. Outside of that, I don't know if they can actually influence people to vote. And then another thing again, maybe the people that they can even influence, not even on the voters list. So there are multiple things to be considered. We're dancehall artists and how people vote. Buju daughter was a Labourite. I mean, she I mean, those things don't mean anything.
Fair enough. So Karen, one more thing before you give with the the pending election analysis. How do you think people like Rattigan, who is himself is a former FBI agent and Ray, and yesterday behavior where then go up at the US, the Washington DC, and clearly campaigning against the government, which would be campaigning for Mark Golding, which we later found out that they were having conversations with Bunting behind the scenes. We hear a lot of other things, but we're not going to get into too much hearsay. But as a former FBI man who same is a lawman and Ray, where you think them think today when them see the appearance of Cartel, who some may look and say, you know what? The Privy Council had an opportunity to acquit Cartel, and they didn't do it.
No, they didn't.
They could have easily done it because they're the final court. I have people making arguments on both sides. The prosecution, very strong on, evidence and Imala say, boy, them send the jury for go corrupt the thing. I had Isaac who stood his ground there. He did pretty good with his argument, which I saw. But you have people who are saying, listen, the man was not acquitted. Ray. So when Rattigan now, who played an advocate role for the opposition against Andrew One, when him see that played it today, what you think him feel? Rattigan, good night if you're over here, sir.
Good night, Mr. Rattigan. I hope you're over here.
Lord, my stomach. People want to make sure I get the thing a thumbs up for with it.
The thumbs up and like up the thing. Like it up and share it then. I can't imagine Mr. Rattigan being pleased about today's event. I can't imagine any law enforcement person being pleased. I can't imagine the Chinese who were present at the conference being pleased.
Lord Jesus, the Chinese them did it.
But the Chinese were at the conference, and I cannot imagine them being pleased.
Lord Jesus.
I am also reliably informed that there was somebody from the U.S. Embassy, not an American, but a Jamaican that works in the embassy, who was asked to just swing by and check it out. So I can't imagine any of these people being pleased with what they saw. And whoever thought up this idea clearly don't be an understanding.
You feel tell the people them the truth, Karen. Do you think that Bunting sacrificed himself to get disrespected and sidelined and say, you know what? It doesn't bother me.
I think Bunting was pissed today.
You think so?
Yeah, man. I think he was pissed. I think Bunting was
Papa Jesus.
Say what you want about him. And I've always made it clear that we have some serious issues with Peter about him. But I've always liked him. I don't like Maroon. And say what you want about him. He can't have been pleased about this today. Not after all the utterances that he made when this thing went down. Not after the stance that he took when this went down. He can't have been pleased.
That is cruel though, don't you think? For them to rub Cartel in his face and make him look like a hypocrite. Me don't know who would do what intentionally, Because it could be a situation, me tell the people them about the eruption will go on between him and Data. Me I wonder if a Data and do the same to make it, for undermine him and make
Let them stay in there and kill them one another.
Lord Jesus.
And war with them one another. Them in a clique now, different cliques. PG are stay out of it. Peter Phillips staying out of it. Let them stay in there and sort it out by themselves. Who will die, and who, and I mean that figuratively. But, let them stay and sort it out by themselves. But I can't imagine Bunting being pleased today.
Some of you say I'm going to leave.
You're going to leave it after him? I don't know. I can't say.
You remember when him did take him briefcase and bow to the speaker and left out of Parliament? Jamaica 411. Me know you have the video there in your archive, Me could see the video where Bunting grab up his suitcase, his briefcase.
No, sir. I don't have that one at all. You miss it with it.
So the man take a piece of bow at the doorway. Yes.
When was that? Was that the time when he left the first time around or after?
I think at the first time.
You think he might take up him phone with all the light bill and pay and just walk out?
And then I get back in 600. Yeah, that's one thing now gonna away. Must sup it.
No man, this look bad for him though. This look bad for him. God know.
I don't think he has the control that he had up to maybe a year ago. So I don't think they are making a concerted effort, it appears, to sideline him.
Yeah.
I don't know if that is to any.
Not spending money. I'm not spending any money. That's the only way that could happen. Them stop spend money.
No, sir, this look bad for him.
Something wrong. You know, we're gonna get to the bottom of it. We're gonna stop. We'll get to the bottom of it.
Me a better 100 USA I'm gonna leave. But me I give him about 2 weeks. Him a gonna leave because him ego hurt.
He was in the train. He was in the human train going around the Porsche train thing as the candidate for South Manchester. You know, see the Porsche train thing on the platform, on the stage. He was a part of it.
Me never watch it. So Karen. Oh. So wait then now. Why is it? To me, you say it was a good conference. You watched it. I trust your judgment.
Yeah.
But why is it that the whole theme or the foundation of the conference, it was so fixated on Michael and Portia? That's the information I got.
I was upset the other day when Mark seemed to be talking a lot about agriculture. But every time he talks about agriculture and do mention the greatest leader the PNP ever had, Michael Manley, and the role he played in revolutionizing and modernizing Jamaica's agricultural sector. He never once mentioned Michael Manley when he was done by that little attended so-called constituency conference that Dayton Campbell had in Eastern Westmoreland. Never spoke about it. He never mentioned Roger Clark and the role Roger Clark played in our agriculture sector. And don't mention those things because he don't like give credit to Michael Manley for anything. He don't like speaking talk about Michael. He don't like to use Michael Manley's name because it make him feel make him feel small and insignificant and unimportant. So he don't do that. You know, so him keep talking about agriculture and not include Michael. I think the theme that they decided to do this was a good thing. Why it was a good thing is because they have nothing. They have nothing. None of them, Mark, have nothing on which to offer to the country, to the delegates, to the people who watch. He has nothing. Them can't show nothing. When Mark was 18, this is what Mark did. We can't show things that Michael Manley did when he was 18 and what Portia did when he has no record at all on which to demonstrate anything to the country or to the delegates or who was there and the people watching on television. He has nothing. So it's best that you use the people who has something. If you want to use PG, if you want to go for the two people who not at the conference and Jamaica has not seen Portia for a while. Michael is dead, and he wants to use those to evoke the longing that the PNP people have, that longing for those days when you look back and you say, "Boy, you long for when Michael or you long for when Sister P." So it was a good move. It's cheesy, but because they have nothing to run on, and therefore using it is a good thing. Evoke the memories and the longing that the PNP people and let them see. Even though they never show much the picture of Portia, which I thought that was the thing that they should have done. Show some pictures about them. But it was a good thing. It was designed for that. I don't know if after that there was anything else they could offer the comrades in the arena, because in spite of how good the conference was and Mark's speech was pretty good, in spite of that, he was not successful in motivating them or getting them to an enthusiasm level that they need to get to. He was unsuccessful in that. They were scattered, they were uninterested in any other thing except the music at the moment and the Portia thing and the excitement on the stage. Him, they have no interest in him. And I'm not saying that in any bad way. I'm just saying it as though I see it. It is true. The Commonwealth, the people in the room have no interest in him. They're not clamoring for him. They're not calling for him. He's not inspiring them. They are not looking starry-eyed and teary-eyed.
Lord Jesus.
Like they did on Michael and Portia and PJ. So I figured that's one reason why they draw for the Michael and the Portia thing. It was a good move. It actually helped them. Without that, the conference would have flopped.
But Karen, that can work two ways, showing the people, reminding the people about the people them who were the most popular in the PNP, the Manly and the Portia. I think that can work two ways. One way is it can evoke good memories and longing, as well as it can also show up the deficit in Mark Golding as a leader, don't you think?
I'm absolutely certain that it did. But it is that longing and that memory that is said, why? Because if only, and that will remind people that he's not it, and he doesn't measure up, and he doesn't fit the bill. So it works both ways, but the way that they were trying to play it today, I think it worked to an extent. As to whether they can actually build on it and carry it to actually get people motivated and enthused to the work and to get people on the voters list and to get people out to vote. As to whether they can do that, I doubt that.
So you don't see any? Do you see any grassroots activities happening in preparation for a general election?
No, not in the communities. There's nothing really going on in the communities except everybody trying to win them seats. There is no overall. If there is an overall party strategy as to how many seats they want to win and which seats they're targeting to win, there is always one. But I think that outside of that, everybody just concentrating on the seat that they know them can win and they want to win. And then the piece of it not there.
Talk a little louder. They say you're low again. Talk a little louder.
Everybody is, even though there might be a strategy, a 32 seat or 33 seat strategy. Sometimes that strategy is not clear to everybody. And even if it's clear, once I leave that room, everybody now concentrating on their seat. So, yes, there might be an overall strategy to win 32 seats, but at the end of the day, Raymond are out there trying to win FEM 1. Everybody else are going to try to win FEM 1 and hope them can deliver 32. I don't believe they can deliver that 32. The conference today is a feel-good thing, and it did help to probably give the people a little more juice, coming into conference and leaving out. But it will not help in the delivering of 32 votes, because I didn't see anything today that suggests that. And one other thing, the highlight of the private session, which was scanty and pretty much empty, the 2-day private session was empty and scanty.
How first we see that?
Yes, empty. But the highlight of the Saturday session was these workshops that they had. I think that must have been something that Maroon Weber did. Somebody sent me a whole heap of notes that they took about something. I don't look at them yet. But they had these workshops. And when I asked around, I am told that the workshops were pretty good. The problem with that is where it ends. They had a workshop and it was pretty good.
Oh, so look here. Lisa's absence. Do you think that there is any impact of any extent on the PNP as it's nearing an election with the absence of Lisa?
Well, let me answer that by referring to Damian Crawford little thing today, which was basically a usual comical thing and rhyming all kind of things in terms of what he wants to say. And it works. People laugh, people clap, people like that kind of excitement. It put a little juice in the conference as well. The biggest loss to the PNP is Lisa Hanna. And her absence today never go unnoticed.
Is that right?
It did not go unnoticed. It did not go unnoticed to the Jamaican public, who the Jamaican public already accepted within themselves that she's not going back and she leaving. but not seeing her physically there, since that she's still a sitting member of parliament, that leaves a little bit of a void. But I don't think these people recognize these things.
When she leave the risers, them say good riddance. I'm a shake my head, cause you got to be very immature and not able to measure and calculate outcomes and probabilities, and it takes adults to really understand the void. Because when Lisa Hanna went up against Mark Golding, she didn't lose by that much. Remember, she didn't even spend any money. Mark Golding spent a whole lot. The fake fraudulent group, them and them something there. And she never do any of them there. But she had and still has a huge base inside of the PNP. I just the risers, them alone are like her.
She's loved, something which Mark Golding is not.
And nationally too.
Yeah, she's loved.
I just the risers, them not really well. I've never seen anybody personally attack her in the way that the risers do, but I don't think that, as we said, may agree with them, don't understand the gravity of their actions. I heard they came out with a lot of women today parading around as if to say we're pro-women. What do you have to say about that?
They have 21 women who are candidates for member of parliament. And I should say, I maybe should not say, but I can't help myself, so people will have to just forgive me. Most of them really don't look good.
Lord Jesus, Father.
I'm dead serious.
Jamaica 411. You're not a tape over there can put on a woman in your mouth.
No. I don't listen me. Listen me. There was a time when the women in the PNP
quality.
They just look good. They are quality women and them look good. Some of them speak and them come across pretty good in terms of speaking. The ones who spoke. I saw a side chick. She looked mash up. But I mean,
Lord Jesus. Guys, we're not going to get no other content. No way. You know, like up your life and go subscribe to every channel,
Them not attractive. Maybe it's a television. I am willing to say that it is just a television, or I am willing to say that my eyesight is going. All right? But I must have to say what I see. Well, but what I saw then, I have to just say that really don't look good. They're not ready. But they were parading them because they are the representatives of the PNP, most of whom are going to lose. But what can I say?
God, I must say. Jamaica 411, come in, because we have to go fire Liz, Liz, I get fired tomorrow morning.
Must have gone sleep.
I don't know where she did. I go fire Liz tomorrow morning. Oh, she sure did. Oh my gosh. And she tell us that she never had that. Okay. So, she now but I get fired then. So, Jamaica 411. Give your election or pre-election analysis. You see the ads where them push out already in response to the cartel presentation, and make us hear a little bit of what you have to say.
The one thing that I recall was right at the end when Horace Daly, decided to do a pledge, and him had the comrades repeating after him that them promised to go into them community and to go to the hills and valleys for the PNP, and to bring home the victory for the MPs. And Mark Jefferson Golding, and then repeat it, or Mark Golding, and then repeat it to be the next Prime Minister of Jamaica. And we have to go back over it and see if the people really did. Some did mouth it, and some sound like they never did.
It was a very small answer.
Next
Prime Minister of Jamaica to be the next. That part was many people never want to say that part.
No one never wants to say that part there. They call him name.
Them not going to over pretend. Many people
And what I understand about the politics, you see, is that even though some people are really into them, because them a PNP, them not allow them to stop them from going to them conference, which is what they have been doing from them either and me, right? So the people who are there, one man tell me, say it's the biggest conference yet. Me say the smallest. Me say, man, you're young. You sound like you're young. You haven't seen many. Me say the smallest conference that. But the point is that even though the conference isn't what it can be or in the past, now look at me anyway. The people come there out of habit. I mean, about habit, being somebody who used to love cricket and love cricket. And but it is how they respond to him. You see, they keep bringing up this Portia thing, particularly to kind of G up the comrades, make them, feel good and all them kind of thing. They play the songs and all them kind of thing to make them, alive. Before he comes on, I agree that the speech has a lot of specifics. I have to go mull over it another night, to see if I can find a pattern that connects them. And it was a good speech. The problem with his speech, perhaps, is the delivery. Him just rattle it off, I guess it's so much. Him just go through. Like there's no pause for people for I'm at nice and so on. But in terms of specifics, we get specifics.
Music tends to pause. Every now and then it appears that somebody was directing the music for pause, or they I don't know something, but he got pauses. The delivery was happy, but it was better than before.
The pauses were there and them dropping the songs to the pause. So I did notice that. But
exactly.
But in terms of the people responding, I don't know. But him did give us the specifics because I told them in a man of my video that the policy committee came up with 3 objectives, which are long-term objectives, and what are the short-term fixes, right? Well, I don't know when can do about crime. Then can't do not about crime. You can't tell them that. But he seems to be going back to what the PNP had before.
I agree with with the crime. It take effort and political will. Me not agree with with that at all. They can't do something about the crime.
My view on crime is different.
We will come back with that one at that time.
Just one thing I want to say. The first solving crime is discipline. And if you can't stop people from throwing garbage on the street, or you're going to solve crime. That's the first thing. That's all I want to say.
Okay. So
as I was saying, it did come with the specifics this time around, but as to what they all mean, I was telling you about the crime, is that what he was referring to were the things that the PNP had in place, and they were not solving the crime. In certain troublesome era, it may have paused the crime a bit, but it still was not solving the crime. And if that is the solution he's coming with, the plan that he says that he has, why? For us.
Give the people them a little bit more than that, Jamaica 411. You can't left it right there, so.
No, I mean to say that they were not the same. You see the same thing that to do with the state of emergency. The state of emergency took the policemen from out of them duties where they're supposed to do, investigate and detect crime, right? Or investigate the crime when it's already committed. And what they do, they take the policemen out of that, from that, to go grab some little young man off of the street and go lock them up. And what it does is that it suppresses crime because a whole heap of boots are on the ground. But what you're not seeing are the arrests for those crimes that were committed, and you're not seeing the conviction. The conviction is where the problem is, Right? And even when they do find the people, they can't get them convicted, and when they do convict them, the judge will let them out. So, and I'm tell you, the system will never work.
We have to go come back about crime because it's not just the politician them, but a whole heap of things surrounding that must work cohesively, on a long-term basis. But me could come back about that.
But him spoke on things.
Tomorrow, hold on there. Any I want to hear them talk about the illicit 8 or 5 or 3?
Yes, Mark did. Mark referred to it.
Not illicit 8.
Listen, 5 plus 3 equal 8.
No, it's not illicit 8. Okay, but 411 did the research. And according to the research of the 84 members of parliament and senators sitting in our parliament, only 82 of them, only 2 of them 2 of the 84, only 2 persons' statutory declarations have been certified by the IC.
Oh, we are say.
Of the 84, only 2. One of them is Mark Golding. We suspect that the other one is Nigel Clark, seeing that he is the Minister of Finance and he must angle the money, so he can't have no statutory declaration pending. So we suspect that those are the 2 that have been certified. So therefore, it is not 8 illicit, it's not illicit 8, it's an illicit 82 who have not had their statutory declarations certified.
Oh, where then how me miss that?
Do the calculation, man. Michelle, do the research.
And Lisa come to about 5 plus 3 equal 8.
Senators and members of Parliament whose statutory declarations have not been certified. Now, you have to separate the certification from investigation. So maybe the 8 is investigation. But in terms of certification, question must be asked. How come you the 2 of them declaration can't be certified?
Something wrong with that, man. I forgot to look into it. So there was no mention of it at the conference?
Yes, man. I know Mark spoke about it. Mark said, when he said at the end, he said, for all we know, it may be another 5. A 5, him said? Yes, I think, why would he say 5? Come to think of it. He was talking about it. Let me see, what was he saying? He was talking about it, saying that it was, all right, let me get them. I thought, see if I can remember when it said. But he did mention it.
Didn't catch the first 3 minutes of his speech. Did he
No, it was well into the speech, he said it.
His British citizenship?
I don't know. I catch a speech. I didn't catch it quite at the beginning.
I think I was told that he announced that he renounced his citizenship. His British citizenship. So somebody said, me not watch it still, but me not.
I didn't hear. I'm going to listen back to the whole thing.
And somebody showed the passport and showed the certification. But of course, them risers lying. I mean, I have to see it for myself.
Yeah, but we know that certification don't mean a thing. None of it mean anything.
Okay. Yeah, because you can reverse it within a certain period of time.
6 months to reverse.
The thing, he can always go back and get it, but the thing that really make him look iffy when it comes on to patriotism is that he took so long and then he undermined our constitution when he said, I don't have to renounce it because I'm not violating the law. That is not true. And that is why none of them, not him, not Julian Robinson, not Matthew Samuda, none of them was willing to be taken to court because they know they cannot win. So Mark Golding undermined the constitution. That is a very bad thing. And if you have a reluctant for sure say you're patriotic over how much 60 days, you come out of war with the people, them and say, Barack Obama never have to give up him Kenyanship and what me couldn't make me do it and Ray and me say, but the man is not serious about Jamaica, man. Nobody do it, man.
Obama was not a Kenyan, never was Kenyan citizen.
Because you know why? He might listen to Trump, but Trump he might listen to.
But I was listening out, he was talking about the road to Republic. And I was listening out. He was talking about them
layaway Trump in a nearby bushes down in Florida. In a nearby bushes, no sir. We soon come up with a news there. But boy, the situation, Dayton Campbell plan up the cartel something they can't. They can't blame nobody else. Where say Karen? I am do it. Bad too bad. Me not well and a bunting, cause the bunting look vex. Lord Jesus. Me I find out, me I look for that briefcase when I see him walk out, when I see him bow out of Parliament with it. Lord Jesus, oh God. Bunting. Mm-mm.
I was back out and I pack up my room.
He might go leave, man. I tell you, say, me I give him 2 weeks. I did a video over here a few nights ago. No, about 2 weeks ago, me do a video over here. Because when me see Ice at a show Cartel in a politics, as the man come from prison, not even 1 week good, he might bring the man in a politics and I beat up the man in a politics. And me I say to myself, say, you know, say, if Bunting see say Cartel are really coming at the thing, him I go leave. And I got a phone call and somebody tell me, say, Bunting, talk it. Say, whenever I talk about Cartel, forget seat and something, the risers them. And then somebody tell me, say, Bunting, say, if Cartel become a member of the PNP, he's leaving. So when
don't estimate him. They must not underestimate Bunting.
But when me see him behavior to them, me see say true.
Mark should know better.
Oh God, man.
Mark should know better. I guess probably Bunting down and crying all for divine intervention.
Oh God, man. Jesus. Everybody come buff him.
Maybe him go and plot something else. You turn there, think him a left him $650 million. Who no stay there?
A Machiavelli this man. Wait.
Remember, and it said Cartel is clever, you know. Cartel is very clever. Must mean say Mr. Manipulator.
Jesus, Father. You see, I don't want data now. I him first, I go get it, you know, because me hear say I go on some way up and Bunting, you know, carried.
Him not understand when I get it. Him don't have a clue.
Me say me hear say I go on some way.
Him don't have a clue when I deal with. Him is out and dead. Out and dead completely. Him don't know him just go through and follow some little people and give him advice. And then everybody who's giving him advice and whoever is on his team at the moment, is a momentary thing. That will last.
Wait there.
Because they all don't like him and they would like to see him die.
Oh God.
Figuratively.
Okay. So I heard that he gave this emotional speech today. I didn't watch it, Karen. You did?
No, I didn't watch it.
Oh, you didn't look at it?
Who gave the emotional speech?
Beatan. The man with the 4 lawsuit pending against him.
Yeah.
4 lawsuits.
Yeah, the people, yeah, and try, but the people never respond to him at all.
But you know why? Maybe him emotional because of the stress where they upon him. Him and Bunting not stress. The people him blame him same chat too much because he make the leader look like liar about the illicit something. Him want to be leader, him can't get no seat because the people in Westmoreland say him for galang back down a center and mash up the constituency. So everywhere him turn Maca juke him no better than Bunting. The two of them a be a Maca juke them and them a juke them one another.
But I don't know if I believe the story about Dayton and Bunting, you know. Bunting is a man who I suspect of all kind of secrets to people, you know. And I'm sure Dayton have some secrets he would like to keep.
411, me now ask you know, I tell you, say him and Bunting in a problem. What you mean by you know if you believe? What kind of story? Me I tell story? A facts me I tell.
Hold on, man, listen to me now. All right, Karen, I talk. Me Karen finish talk and then we talk.
No, man, you go on, you talk.
No, when I say I have a hard time believing the story. Here the other points where me say, no, man. Me say because Bunting is a man that have secrets for a lot of pan people. And this man is a man we have plenty secrets. So I don't know how him could be taking a Bunting. Unless in the past suicide mission. That's my point. Who could I make him feel so? How could I make him feel so powerful that him believes he can turn on pan Bunting?
And Bunting that pay him lawyer fee. Yes, so
maybe Bunting stop paying lawyer fee and him vex.
If it wasn't my checkbook, the lawyer would have cut off. No, sir.
See, I get one different lawyer to deal with bars.
Oh God. What a situation. So
all we need is All we need more like is enough tea. I can watch the drama and food.
So, is anybody surprised by the absence of PJ today?
The second year in a row. Last year in the comedy, I think he went to the private session and told the comrades them, give Mark the people that he wanted. That's what I say. And then I don't think him addressed the conference, and they didn't play a recording of him. They didn't play a recording of him either. I wonder if he's well.
PJ is a man.
PJ is well. Me tell you say, 411. Me not like when you come over here going tonight. You know, me not tell you
I mean,
say.
I remember. Yes, me I get old. You did tell me same did all right, not true.
Me tell you say, the people them go up a PJ yard couple of days ago seeking
Oh.
mediation.
Oh yes, oh yes. Mm-hmm.
Tell them no way, no dice.
See him like how them put him on flyer and he don't go. Me tell him, say, friend, then do with Melissa, the man done with them, you know.
But also,
And the citizenship thing.
Also, I believe that the whole constitutional reform thing being pushed aside because of Mark's behavior also upset people.
And it's
but PJ was looking forward to the discussions and the going forward with the CCJ thing, and PJ believes, though I believe, that Mark Golden is the one that put a spoke in that with his lies and his deceptions about his British citizenship and the passport that he has consistently renewed.
I do believe I'm not angry, but I think disappointed in the lack of consensus around the constitutional reform, like you said, because he was the one who publicly asked the leader of the opposition and the prime minister to work together and come to consensus in the interest of Jamaica. So, may I agree with you, dear.
And then he discovered, like all of us did, that Mark is not only a British-born citizen, but he holds a passport that he has been renewing since he has been involved in politics. He renewed twice since he has been in politics. And had we not found out in this year, 2024, there's no doubt in anybody's mind that he would have gone and renewed it again.
And he probably will.
No.
And he probably still will. Yeah.
Yeah, after him get that certification, same as a British citizen, what is to stop him from go reverse it?
Then
and still a show with the paper. And still a show with the paper. The British is not going to come and tell us a lie, Mattel. What do you think, PJ, think about the Vibes Cartel thing on the platform?
Well, on the 411.
Nobody should believe Mark Golden about the renunciation of his British citizenship. Nobody should believe him. He's lying. He's deceptive in deceiving people. He has no intention of giving it up. And I'm still baffled as to why nobody must sue him all now. I run him out of Parliament.
Nobody not going to sue him, and I think Karen, you know why.
Yeah.
They will not do that because the Jamaica Labour Party would be doing something very stupid to try and move Mark Golden, knowing that he is the weakest link. Why would you do that?
Yeah.
Them members said them talk said don't trouble him, leave him alone because him a beaten stick politically. So leave him alone, them say. So what them a go trouble him about courthouse for? The NEC trouble him, them tell him, say, look here, man, renounce or go along about your business. And PJ come talk publicly, say, Ray and only hear the other Yeb Dabdoob and the rest of the lawyer, them come say, you know, this not right. And that's why they had to go ahead and do what they needed to do. So everybody who were part of the discourse about the Constitution of Jamaica and the citizenship, if you were on the side of the Constitution in how you interpreted it by saying that, yes, our Constitution clearly says that nobody should be in the Parliament. And we continuously, oh, wow, I didn't see that. We continuously saw the words, no one. It didn't say no Commonwealth or no this or no that. No one supposed to be in there without certain, criteria. So the Constitution won. So everybody would come out and try to defend the thing, thinking that they're doing. I remember Angela Brownberg stood in Parliament as a member of Parliament, and I say, you know, he's within the right of the Constitution, and then lies. So anybody who play them game there with their Constitution, you can't trust them and adjust the truth, right?
That's it.
Yeah. So me no know. We don't want to give the people them some prediction about how much seat I go win or lose. Cause me yesterday data now win one.
Yeah, talk so didn't say I'm going between 48 and 52 seats.
Lord, I must see me now. Don't don't want to go cause me. They say me a parasite. Me a political parasite.
Let us leave that for another time.
That is true. I guess we have to come back and do this again when Liz is back on the radar.
Yes, let her rest. She's tired.
So 411, where you
Jet
have to say
lag.
about? Eh?
Jet lag, man. Jet lag.
Look here, Liz come from Europe 3 weeks ago. Stop from talk about jet lag.
I wonder if the jet lag never reach her when she did reach.
Liz original, you know. Let me tell you again.
Drop asleep, man. Jeez.
So Jamaica 411, you want to give any final word here before we go?
Boy, me still can't get over it. So me just I get over it a little bit all the same, but boy, I mean I know.
What
Just have to
people
go.
them we can't get over?
Me can't get over, you know, probably because me did the research into the party and Norman Madley. But when me see Vibes Cartel upon the realist assembly upon the platform, the first man run to on the man was Norman Manley. That man was a stickler for integrity, right? That man went into the election, the first election, with only 18 people out of the 32. Why? He could have easily just put anybody if him only have 18 people and him not nobody else. Stick some other people in there. Not him. The man went to a general, he had the opportunity to become Jamaica's first prime minister. All he had to do was to just continue on into his term, right? Once he named the date at August 6th and move into independence, he decides he's going to have elections. Why? Because it is the right thing to do. That's the man.
So give us
and that is the man. For him party, you go take a man, a convicted criminal who only escaped on a technicality and put him on the platform. And it's not like saying was charged for politics or some political thing, and you feel so the other side did it to get the person. You understand? It was murder. It was so.
Why? I mean, I really want.
It is hurtful. It is hurtful.
So me ask you an honest question now. If Dodos do him time and him come out of prison and come to Jamaica and Dodos decides say he want to go to a JPU conference and he want to go sit down and play, what you think the Labour right them would do that?
They never did it before.
That's a question. I don't think Dodos will ever to do it. He has never felt the need to do it when he had all that power and was here. I don't believe
I never can do it.
He's a smart and educated man. I don't think he's
Well, in fairness, Bruce Golding did try to defend Dodos against the extradition.
And sink the party, and the PNP never noticed.
Move that cost him.
Yeah, that's true.
And Dodos at the time was not convicted of anything, but people knew what he was.
Yes.
Vibes Cartel got off the murder charge, but there are people out there.
But they made the Labour, right? Them probably learn from that still. Me not think them, but I do not like that again.
Jamaica has about 13 or 14%. The last time the undecided not voting, this says 19%. But Jamaica consistently, in every election, have about 13 to 15% of the voting population, people who vote, who can swing this election one way or the other. They're not going to like this.
I don't think so.
And we might believe that in the middle class and upper class, they might not like it more. But I'd like to.
But they are in the minority. What about the poor people? All them Christian people will go to church.
I let everybody know that that is not exactly true. It is the poor people in the communities. It is mostly them that's not going to like this.
Why you say that?
It is just a fact. That's how people are. It is them. It is the woman 55 and over. It is the police. It is the people in law enforcement. It is those people who just not going to like. Remember, as Michelle said, the Privy Council had the opportunity to say that he's innocent, and they did not.
Why do you think they never do that?
Because they had the well, I am guessing. I'm not trying any case on this. I'm just guessing that the evidence in front of them was overwhelming. And the only thing that through that evidence is the technicality of how the procedures were tainted.
Okay.
So you can't get past that. You just can't get past that. There's no way around that.
Remember when the government started the states of emergency at first?
Hold on the 411. I'll mute you just a second. To your background.
What is one thing you must remember when the Privy Council came down with its decision? Jamaicans celebrated, and the people who celebrated did not celebrate on the assumption that he was innocent. They celebrated because the argument was already out there that the process was tainted, that the process was interfered with, that there were fingerprints of impropriety on the side of the prosecution in the process. And that is what people celebrated. I celebrated that. It's a good thing to celebrate, to remind our judicial system that processes are important, just like what they did to us in terms of denying us representation and then muzzle us and then want to punish us for not obeying the muzzling. So that is what I celebrated, the tainting of the process. And that is what most people celebrate when you talk to people, when you hear people talk. Because for the whole week when that happened, when he came home, the entire conversation, everywhere, the gambling table, the bingo table at the front of the shop, everywhere, every day people sit down, was that what they did. Is what they did. Most people don't even know what they did. But everybody just come to a conclusion based on what has been revealed, whether they know what has been revealed, yes or no, that something went wrong. And if they allow the system to just play out as it should, then maybe it would not have resulted in this. And that is how the law is set up. When there is just one impropriety about how the process is conducted, that alone can cost you just about everything. So there it is. So people know.
So Corinne, I mean, there's a very fine line in what you just said. Because, clearly, Lizard is dead.
Yes.
Clearly, there was a case of homicide to answer to.
Yes.
So, I wonder now if a victory against the process, erases the initial, case before the court. Because, I mean, it's a very touchy subject, and we here are not trying to try Cartel.
No, I'm not doing that at all.
Cartel found himself in the... Remember over here, so we talk about politics. We don't really talk about individuals. But people often find themselves within the politics. So Cartel found himself in the politics because him lawyer draw him in the politics. Him never have in the politics. Now that it's this way, I have to ask the question because, I'm a strong believer if somebody, is on trial for whatever, then the process should not be tainted. The process should not be interfered with. Just like how from day one, me say, when Bunting went out there on a campaign on Cartel in the earlier days when he was on trial, that was yes, that was wrong, very wrong.
Blatant interference in the process, and that alone could have Cartel Isaac McKenna could have made a case about that with those things.
If he did have a good lawyer from them time there. Yes, if he did have a good lawyer them time there. To challenge Bunting the right way, he would have been gone along, he would have gotten off a long time ago.
Yeah, man. That was interfered with the process. That should have shut down the process. The fact that the Minister of National Security, who is the
on a campaign.
Was inviting discussion on the matter while it was in the court. Yeah.
So Cartel taint and bias about Cartel. Bunting taint and bias the case from way early. And Karen, I strongly believe, Karen and 411, I strongly believe that the judge was under pressure to come back with a verdict quick because of what the National Security Minister, Peter Bunting, and the Justice Minister, the two of them, the two of them, they are about the place I do that, So me feel said the judge did feel rushed to come to judgment when them tell the juror, and the jury, to come back with verdict, right? And that's why, because them me case, them sister the thing tainted and them never stop the case. A Bunting them a big part of the problem.
And Bunting was doing it, running against the clock for his political career. All of it was about that.
And then him they go ball again when him could fix crime. So him that try skate pan Cartel, and he played a major part in denying Cartel the right to a fair trial. Cartel did not get a fair trial. That is fact. That is true.
That's right.
But
not fair. The process was not fair.
Right. But at the same time, a lot of people are still of the opinion that a homicide was done. You understand? And the evidence, in my view, it is so overwhelming, from the recordings to the videotape and them sitting there. Boy, now I understand why the Privy Council never take the decision to, acquit.
Right. They didn't get the decision. They couldn't. But they had but there was a clear case of interference.
Yes, definitely.
Maybe, who to tell? Maybe there were some things in the interference, including Bunting utterances.
Yes. And why me not endorse them thing that it can't to anybody, Anybody can depend on trailer.
That is why I celebrate with Carter. That is a part I celebrate.
But you're not
to walk away because the system was rigged against it.
But you're not celebrating them on the PNP platform, though, Karen.
Not at all. Not at all.
Lord Jesus.
I don't know if I'll be able to sleep well tonight. It's very disturbing.
Well, I thought about.
I can't begin to imagine. Let me tell you, Natalie. If you ever knew, you're young, where we're coming from as a party, and the things that Norman Manley uttered out of his mouth, and the process that he laid out in front of us, and how Michael carried that party and carried that process and taught us at every opportunity he got. Taught us how, where, when, and most importantly, why. And how PJ took that up and lifted to another level and just carried it. And how Portia get it and push it to another higher level and taught us and showed us. And when Peter Phillips got it in the midst of so much things against him, he still was able to show us and to guide us and to teach us about this. If you knew all of that, if you saw some of the things that we went through, if you could have sat in some of those meetings and those conferences and those NECs and those RECs, if you could have seen it with your eyes and stand up beside them and walk with them and talk with them. I remember one Christmas when PJ used to have lunch with us at party headquarters. Every Christmas he'd come to party headquarters and have lunch with the staff. and he came in a PJ hat. And as a party leader, begging that hat, and he took it off his head. And he never handed it to me in my hand. He put it on my head. If you knew, you would understand how I felt today to see that. Trust me. It was not a nice thing to look at.
So, looking at it from Cartel perspective, you know, I don't know what to say about. I don't know because everybody wants a sense of belonging. Even though Cartel did 13 years, he was let go by the appellate court. I mean, should he have said to himself, you know what? Maybe this isn't such a good idea. Him should have said to ISAT, because I mean, know ISAT encourage him and bring him there. You think him should have maybe said to ISAT, say, look here, man. You know, so I not think this is a good idea, or you know, that's I not really my place or my thing or the right time, or you understand what I say?
Yeah.
Me don't know because he was let go on technicality, and I don't think that I don't think that anybody should beat him up if you know if what he does doesn't affect them in any way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You know,
but
nobody have to quarrel with him about what happened.
Yeah.
What it is, it happened already, and this is he, and him have a chance to restart his life and pick up the pieces and do everything. Nobody have to quarrel with him about that. I'm talking about my party.
It's a major political party, so
this is what they brought it to. Bring back Michelle, you can't leave her out.
No man, she's here. 411.
You know, when I was, as I said before, the first person run on my mind was Norman Manley. And what occurred to me, is just how far the PNP with this Rice Bunch is from the PNP that's supposed to be a party of integrity. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, it is clear from what you saw today that the PNP is not the same PNP like under the other leaders. It's a different PNP. It looks like I wouldn't call it a refugee camp, but it's some kind of what would you call it now? What would you call it now? Jesus, I soon find the words, right?
List of the parliament is a refugee camp.
it's like
Lord Jesus.
It's like a center for persons who needs a second chance. Right?
Oh, I see what you mean.
It's like you have persons who get themselves into trouble, and there is absolutely no way they will be put up. Not in the PNP. Maybe that could happen in the JLP, but not in the PNP. Them can participate, donate, work for the party, but then now put them as the face of the party. And that changed now. Right? I call it rehabilitation. It's like a rehabilitation for criminal convict. That is where the PNP turn. Now, I don't know if people really understand. A political party exists to win state power. What is state power? State power is you occupying the legislature of this country where you make laws. And if you take thieves to make laws, what do you think would be their what kind of law you think they would make on thievery? So the persons that you put in your parliament must be squeaky clean. They must be as near to perfection as humanly possible. And once you know them have a problem, you don't put them in your parliament. That is where people are making laws that will affect other people's life. Parliament is life or death if you put the wrong person inside here. And the PNP is now having all sorts of people with all sorts of deviancy, criminal background, and you're going to make them the face of the party. What is that going to have on crime? All them people out there commit crime. All of a sudden, they find them as representatives in our parliament. Can you imagine?
So, what is the outlook in your view of a JLP conference or a JLP political campaign. Because this is something we will never forget this moment, okay? And it's an unprecedented moment. It is a huge risk. I personally, in my opinion, my humble opinion, I don't believe it was a risk worth taking. I don't know how other people feel, but when you're going to take a risk, you have to measure your outcome or your possible outcomes and see if it is worth it. That's how we live. That's how we should live our lives, because life sometimes can be about risk taking, right? In my view, this here was not a risk that was worth taking. The Jamaica Labour Party, you know what me would I say if I'm me the leader and them sitting there? Me then I say if this thing here goes wrong, the JLP, this is gonna be their number one campaign strategy 1 year from today. You understand me? I say, Karen and 411.
Remember that PJ did the very same thing, with PJ did the very same thing with Siaga, As soon as an election come on here, so the JLP is ahead, and just some police just gone down in a table. Something not down a table and police gone on there. And you can always trust Edith to go down there. And it reminded people, because people saw him as an antagonist during the 70s. It just reminded people of how they thought about him before, because things started to die down and quiet down a bit after the turbulent 70s. And it just reminded people, and bam, it's when the next Carl Stone poll come out, it was right below. There's another thing I want you to remember, that when these states of emergency were in effect and they did the polls, 70% of the people were in agreement, right? Because they saw the downturn of the crime and things that it was something that was permanent. They didn't understand that it wasn't permanent because, the man them who committed the crime is still out there. So the fact that the people saw the state of emergency and the diminution of their own rights, and they were willing to sacrifice the rights to get these persons they consider to be criminals out of them lives. You're talking about 70% of the people, right? Not into the idea of criminality. So when them go and take this guy who was convicted and got off on a technicality on the stage, what would those 70% of the people think? Young and old people alike.
No, listen, somebody's asking a question of you, 411. Somebody said 411 and Karen, both of you. What do you have to say about the speech from the lady in the diaspora? The Jamaica Gleaner reported this morning, with no overseas guests set to address the public session of the PNP's 86th annual conference today, Mark Golding will take the spotlight, and it goes on to talk about, whatever. But I was told that a lady from England spoke. I don't know, because I was on the go, on the run. Me never get to finish hear the story. Did any of you heard that person?
No.
No? Okay.
No. What them said she said?
They must have said, she said she raised £1,000 sitting like a so for burial victim.
Oh.
Something to that effect.
Well, that's commendable.
Yeah, I guess so. So the Jamaica Progressive League was not there?
Don't know.
Okay.
I didn't see it from the beginning, I started watching after 1 o'clock. Because I was making a video.
Out of 10, how much you know get the conference here?
Boy.
Karen, don't answer.
Boy, the cartel business there.
Hey, if Lizzie there, Lizzie that says 0.001.
If we were to take cartel out of it,
Lizzie
it was a
good 0.00.
If you took cartel out of it, let's take cartel out of it and the chief out of it. When you look at the backdrop and the it coming like it was a Hollywood production, what you call it, Grammy production, right? Yes.
Well, to be honest with you, Jamaican people are very good at presentation, especially entertainment. Don't forget that. Yes.
So that was organized, and the speakers came on, and I don't think all of the speakers have really. I think Damien spoke specifically to the labor rights But I don't think many of them actually did. They were talking about Portia for about half an hour, and they were praising Portia and so on.
The girls, the women candidates also keep using one set of language to glorify Portia. But they're afraid that no boy and no girl they go for the worst things.
Are you serious? They don't nobody never tell me that.
That's just so
That's why we tell you for watch it. You should have watch it.
Lord, research to go find things that Portia said. That all of them come up with, me not afraid of no girl, me not afraid of no girl, me not afraid of no boy.
Jesus, me shame a kill me, shame a... Jesus. No,
no, that is true. When I saw some of them, I said, Lord God. When I saw some of them, I said, but don't know when you look like... Well, let me not say it. But some of them really never look... But then again, you see, I remember said Jamaican people, them look like the ordinary. I don't know. They don't even look like the ordinary people, because people, even the, well, I don't know if you say, yeah, man. The ordinary Jamaican people dress well and then can look well and then go to church and then go a function and all them kind of thing and look.
Jesus.
I don't know. The women, them just never look right. They never look right.
Yeah, listen, when women step out in politics, they have to change them whole wardrobe. You know, matter if a second-hand clothes you go buy your pantsuit, your skirt suit, because remember, you're professional now. You must do quality and them something that you can't come out in a color ear, BBL body. You can't do your BBL body, but we the people don't need to see that. You're coming so that people can hear what you say.
Side chick near the side chick ear plat up and China bump up. She look totally mashed up. Even if she melt or something.
Oh, wait it. So what them say them afraid of no girl and no boy?
Yes.
Mighty.
Portia did say that one time. Portia had said that one time. And that's the only thing them could find to immortalize. Well, not immortalize.
Well, Portia says so when she did. Portia says so when she did upset. When she did upset. So that and nothing for you use as no tagline. I want to them done, say man. Me this them in a man.
Only the upset phrases that Portia used that they could find, all of them. That one during Farm she. But afraid that no one, most of them looks. Them this, as I said, they this.
The last one was supposed to, the last one I think is Doreen. She was supposed to talk about Portia's accomplishments and she was talking about herself. She take an example from Portia and Portia this and she had tried to imitate Portia and she wanted to talk like Portia. I think should have come her here like Portia and come there to her. That's the first thing we don't look on her here. I said, but after why you never do your hair like Portia and come tell with that?
Nobody never tell me say then do that.
The women who were chosen to talk about Portia, they never took the time out to do proper research and they never thought it important enough to go do proper research on some of Portia's speeches and her achievements and things that she did. One and two things. They never thought it important enough. They just thought that they could come there and just roll off a one piece of paper and write them one piece of...
No, man. Karen, just call it what it is. Just call it what it is. They are duns. You know, one of the best speeches when me hear Portia give was when she was in Belgium addressing a women's conference for women leaders. I was completely impressed. And them could have taken little excerpts from that and they could have distributed different lines among themselves. Them didn't even need just the one speech.
Did you ever listen to a speech that you gave at the UN?
Look here, you see the person who did a write Portia speech, them are made Portia direct the speech and say, write this in there or whatsoever. Me don't know, I think I was Sandra Faulkner, was it?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, Portia had some of the best speeches when she was on the national platform. Her speeches were always meticulously written and expressed her point very well.
And Beverly Manley used to help her on that.
No, man, them people are dunce. Any one of them over here want come in at the comment contact me and no dunce, man. Where wanna come from? Wanna think say Jamaica people are jungle people alone and listen to? Wanna know say a worst stage wanna depend idiot? Wanna come but no afraid of nobody. Nobody not afraid of one neither. I want to them people here, man.
So that's the only thing they know about Portia.
But they never thought it. It's not that. It's not that. It's
What
about
a shame.
They never thought the task that they were given. They treated that task with scant disregard. They never thought that the task of saying things about Portia was an important enough task for them to go research some speech.
No, that was very inappropriate. I'm sorry,
And
Karen.
the one that she did in Belgium, and the one that she did in Germany. They never thought it important enough to go look for speeches.
But I would think that if they're going to have them talking about that, that what they would do is write it for them and give them and make them deliver it.
Children.
Lord, you look like nobody never business with nobody because the person will organize the something. Them no must see one where them are gonna come up there come talk. Jesus have mercy. I forced me to hear this from morning.
Yeah, man, they was chosen to talk about Portia and they never did any research. They come back and talk about, repeat all the things that Portia got flanked for. Because every time she said those things, they were the elitists them out in public, deriding her and making fun of her. And those are the things they went on the PNP stage to repeat today.
Because that's true. They don't realize that, as a matter of fact, they don't realize after Portia said that once, and the Labour right them, they bring it up, and then keep bringing it up in the election campaign,
Jesus
and them repeat it.
I can't believe what I hear. No, sir. You know what?
They weren't thinking. But it's the only thing them know that is identifiable with Portia. And yet it's the Labour rights that were highlighting it. Them seem not to recognize that. It wasn't the PNP.
Saying, Michelle, these are people who are seeking to represent the PNP in the Jamaica, in the Parliament. These are people who they asked to say these things. They asked them beforehand, which means that they have an opportunity to go research and find, remind the conference of what Portia said when these 3 children died. Portia what she said.
What?
Yeah.
So when Portia went the speech, remind them about one of the women's day speeches that she gave. Remind them, but they couldn't do that. They come with an excitement, but being afraid of no girl and no boy, and they want them look ugly and silly and not look good.
But talk about sports and said that she had something to do with the tourism. I think the guy that it says so, tourism that the government are boast about now.
Portia must feel bad. Portia's supposed to feel bad about that. You're mad? No, sir.
But and I mean, you don't even know how that come into it. Who them supposed to afraid of? What am afraid of anybody for them to
them take on this bad girl dunce image, and you can't want to represent people and I do them sitting there.
I mean, Portia was the one that brought in, if I remember correctly, she made a speech about this business about people interfere with children. And it was under her, if I remember right, where they passed the law where even if you know it is a criminal offense for you to know and don't say nothing to the law. You know how important that is?
No, sir.
And them don't know not about the party. And that's the problem on Portia. And then beloved Portia and they don't know about her.
They have sucked the class out of the People's National Party. You know who start do that? Bunting.
Yeah.
How you gonna have your wife at your yard? Bunting could I bring him wife and left inside chick at the bush of them show. I want to talk so serious, man. What make you never bring him wife and left the side chick, man?
Well, the side chick in a politics, so she can't left go away.
Me can't let me see me inappropriate, me sorry. So data now same one be the party leader Karen. How that gonna work? But him not no seat. You need seat for the leader.
What's the difference?
Lord Jesus. Anyway, any closing argument here? We have to go come back and do this again, you know.
No, so me not more to say.
People want to say, the people in the comments want to say, we don't want one once a week program like this. Them say them like the program. Couple of people I used to say that thing there. But me no know this boy, this me no know. Them did I try to do too much. But as me predict, Bunty na go grab him briefcase and haul ass out of the parliament next week. Let me show you again the video where Bunty call off Mark off a stage like same did beg. See it ya. Bunting look heavy, you know, man. Me say the man look heavy, you know. Now for those of you who are just joining the after the cartel appearance, somebody send a video come give me say, look what the labor right them start do already. Don't know yeah.
We're concerned about crime.
Vibes Cartel led a gang which was responsible for well over 100 murders. And we have been telling the country this for a long, long time.
Again, for those of you who may not know, this is Vibes Cartel. He's currently a guest of mine in the Correctional Services.
National Security Minister Peter Bunting says convicted dancehall entertainer Vibes Cartel has dedicated his skills to advancing an evil agenda.
Cartel, to my mind.
At the first shoot me your blunderbuss talk. Karen, one man come over here condone blunderbuss when I the man say God tell him say blunderbuss take money for say Mark win the election. Lord have mercy. But the campaign start. The campaign start.
One thing we probably should consider, you know, is whether or not they run a poll about it, this cartel business.
I highly doubt that.
Well, I don't know, but how them would know how the reaction would be? They must have known beforehand what the reaction would be.
Who told you that they cared about reaction? They were probably seeing it as getting some traction. I don't think there's anything more to it.
But then cartel would you see the mistake they made now. Cartel going overshadow, you know. Them somebody will be them, and I wonder who will be them. Them had a good conference. Mark made a good speech. The speech was more detailed, right, than before. I'm telling the people what the PNP going to do when they form the next government. And all of this has been overshadowed by Cartel's presence on the stage. I mean, no, sir, that you're going to hear people talk about tomorrow.
Well,
the intelligence here.
About the policy. We have to go come I don't know. Why? No, sir.
Yes, I have to go a whole heap of things in saying, so I have to go digest them and see if I can put them in semblance of order.
I have started to itemize some things that he said. I wish and analyze them based on some other things that he said before. That's what we're going to do, Michelle.
To tell you the truth, me never listen to what him say, but me just tell you something. You can't, when you're talking about politicians, you have to judge people based on them action. When Mark Golden had an opportunity, when he was justice minister and Bunting Portia gave him the security ministry, Mark Golden and Peter Bunting, what the two of them really and truly do a crime and them sitting there? Boy, I mean, I know. The most memorable thing when me remember about the two of them in a government are when the two of them sit down in Brooklyn, New York with Cartel on the screen. I tell the people them say Cartel and dancehall I encourage scamming and I mash up a country. Me don't really remember nothing of substance so me can make reference to and say, and when Bunting did ball say him can't fix crime. Me don't really remember nothing of substance.
I think it's 14 months after him started. Right? But when I look on the speech and I hear Mark talk, I said to myself, but them doesn't think them can practice in their constituency and show we say it can work, you know. Is he doing it? So some out, hot here.
And that is the next thing too. When it comes on to members of parliament, I feel like these MPs always reflect their constituency, you know. But that is for another conversation. Yes. So anyway, ladies, I thank you so much for joining. I am sure the audience here tonight Really enjoyed what you all had to say and what we had to say. We miss Liz, guys, because Liz's brother
Of
died
course.
and she must have got the funeral today. So this coming week, we'll never hear from Liz. Because Liz have to come way in on this, whether she come by herself or whatever. She will come tell you, say, she'll get the conference 0.001.
You're going to hear the littlest maths.
Liz have a different set of maths, so she work with more time. So, Tuesday, we're going to be talking a lot on Tuesday when Parliament opens and the Integrity Commission's report is tabled. Right? So, guys, make sure to subscribe to all of the channel them. My channel, Karen's channel, Jamaica 411, and be sure to, turn on your notifications so you can follow the discourse. These channels are going to give you truth, very fair and balanced and accurate political analysis. That's all we talk about. So nobody now pay away. Nobody now set we up. Nobody now direct way. Okay, we are our own directors when it comes to patriotism and the truth. So you want to tune into these channels for your latest political news, reviews, and update, and some very deep research information, especially by 411. I share the biggest researcher over here. So remember, so when I get paid over here, so nobody now, you understand? Anyway, thank you, ladies. Have a good night. We'll catch up.
You're most welcome. Night, night.
All right, later for
Night, night, JPU family.
Yeah, man.
Bye.
Yeah. Yes, guys. So I hope you enjoyed the local program here. Mark is running on Andrew Oness's mandate. Yeah, man. I forgot 411. Yeah, she has a very soothing voice. 411. And she alone can do what she do. Everybody have their own style, guys. But just know, say, when you come on them channel here, we're going to talk the raw truth. You understand? And we're going to be fair. Our aim is not to bring down people. But we are patriots. And there aren't many women out here on these platforms that do it like we do. We're courageous, we're brave, and all these things. And you have to be when you're out here talking politics, especially in a state of politics where we have in Jamaica right now. Right? So we will catch up, guys. Make sure you stay tuned. Tuesday, very important day. If you can disappear tomorrow, but make sure you come back on the radar Tuesday because big things are going to go on. You understand? Big up Mr. Vegas, who was in the chat with us, Imotep, and all of the other patriots. Then big up on yourself. Thank you guys so much for joining. Have a good night.
Please remain standing for the national anthem.
Jamaica land, we